What is up, all you YouTubers, gamers, and Roughnecks out there? Before we get to today's episode, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I've been playing the first Black Ops quite a bit this past week, and there were a couple of hackers that I came across, and I understand that Treyarch and PSN, they're all paying attention to their new upcoming games and everything. But I wanted to show you these two guys. This first one, I believe, is Uneducated. He didn't have a whole lot of skill. As you can see, he dies quite a couple of times here in this gameplay. And that was like one of the main things I wanted you to notice, that he does in fact lose lives. And I checked his combat record. It's not all that impressive. The only thing that I saw with it, if you notice on his name tag, he doesn't have a placement as far as what class he's in, prestige or anything. But if you look at his gamer card, there he is with the 15 prestige. He's got his emblems up. Again, his combat record wasn't all that great, but he is hacking the system as far as getting these little player cards, updating his emblem and whatnot. And yeah, so I wanted to bring your attention to this guy again, uneducated, excuse me. And then for the next one, if you will watch, this gameplay was actually very, very frustrating. It was on the map Zoo. It'll be just a second here. There we go. And it was on this gameplay Zoo. Now I'm going to be coming out of this little archway, and up in that top left corner where that window is, that's where our hacker's going to be, and we'll get a clear shot of his name. I want to say it was like Roman numeral 9, Deadly 97, Roman numeral 11. And there I am. As you can see, I threw the first Semtex. That guy behind me, he's going to throw the second one. Now, if you watch right here, you see the red glow from my Semtex. This next Semtex grenade is going to stick right to his hip. Now, if my grenade didn't get him, this one surely has. Now, if you don't play first-person shooter games, that any time you get a Semtex stuck to you, whether you have armor or not, you're dead. But again, if that wasn't enough, here I am down here. I'm going back and forth between the statue. I pull out my RPG and fire 2 solid shots. Still doesn't die, and all he has is the Ghost perk and Scavenger. So there you are. Room number 9, Deadly 97, room number 11. Keep an eye out for these two guys. If you see them, report them. Let's get these guys off the air. You know what I'm saying? I don't tolerate hackers, and neither should you. But yeah, so that's it for that, and stay tuned. Coming up next. What is up, all you YouTubers, gamers, and Roughnecks out there? It's your boy Rico, and it's time for another episode of Rico's Roughnecks. As you can see, I'm doing a Throwback Thursday today. I'm playing the first Black Ops on Summit. I believe I go 33-8. I was after playing those 2 hackers in the previous lobbies. Man, did it work up a kind of a frenzy within me. So I kind of went all out, and I just showed no mercy during this map. But anyway, the topic I wanted to get to today is music. I know I've mentioned in the past in some of my first episodes that I am just hardcore old school when it comes to all of that. I see a lot of people posting up memes and pictures and still talking about the videos of Miley Cyrus and her performance on the VMAs, and how she's kind of slutty and this, that, and the other thing, and she's dressed as provocatively. It's like, who cares? Like, I remember back in a time when the music and performances were just about the music. Nobody. Yeah, it was a little controversial with Madonna, where she wore those like big plastic cones for her boobs during some. It was again one of the MTV VMA shows. She wore those, but instead of being such a huge controversy, it was this big kind of uplift. Like, man, she's setting a trend. Now, obviously, parents don't want kids to set that kind of trend in wearing flesh tone bikinis and whatever twerking is on somebody, but it was just about it's a performance. Get over yourself in thinking that you have any kind of say in what's going to go on the air, what's going to go off the air, and what these performers and entertainers are going to do with what they feel like they have to do in order to entertain us as spectators. Now, having said that, with my experience, I am just a big fan of the oldies. When music actually had more melody than just a hardcore beat, and more lyric. What's the term I'm looking for? Had just more vocabulary to the lyrics than just simply a repetitive chorus. what was it? The first person that comes to mind, and you know what? I have to ask this question. As much as people are talking about and complaining about Miley Cyrus and her performance, I can't imagine why nobody's like talking anymore about Justin Timberlake's performance. I'm not a fan of his. I know a couple of his songs, especially back in the early 2000s when he left NSYNC. I wasn't even a fan of NSYNC when I was in high school. I did listen to like Backstreet Boys and 98 Degrees, but NSYNC and Justin Timberlake's music was never a part of my repertoire as far as what I was going to put on in a CD. But watching his performance at the VMAs, it was just absolutely amazing. I felt the energy from the crowd. I could feel him, his energy that he was putting off when he was performing and dancing and going through the little montage of his songs, which the last song that he used for that performance was just absolutely incredible. If anybody wants to comment below, let me know what that song is. Again, I don't listen, so I don't know the words or what it's called, but that song was absolutely amazing, and that's what kind of prompted me to want to talk about this topic of music today. Because that last song, it was upbeat, it felt uplifting, it just had an awesome melody, and it just climaxed throughout the whole thing. And that's what I remember music doing back in like the 80s and the 90s, is that it went somewhere. It kind of told a story, but it had this climax ability that it started off kind of subtle, and then it would just build and build and build until it got to the chorus where everybody was just live, everything was loud, and everything was just very kind of fanfare and pomp and show kind of thing, and that's what Justin Timberlake's performance did when I was viewing it. So much respect to Justin Timberlake. As far as Miley Cyrus, keep doing your thing. I don't really care. I don't watch, and anybody who disagrees with it, stop watching. It's not that hard to change the channel anymore. Excuse me, getting a little raspy because I'm not even taking a breath in between these talking sessions. But anyway, it's old school music. It's all about, for me, it's all about Dr. Dre. It's all about Snoop Dogg. It's all about some old school Nelly, Ludacris. I definitely I've been listening to a lot of Boyz II Men nowadays. Again, this is just all in a time when music is more about the melody than just a hardcore beat, and lyrics had more vocabulary than just saying girl repetitively and all these other catchy little whatever that go into the title. Wrecking Ball and Roar, and I don't know what Lady Gaga's one was called. I know it kind of had the same premise as Roar, so Animal or Monkey Style, whatever. I think they're all fake. But anyway, so yeah, come on, society, let's get back to like music. Skrillex and all of these dubstep artists, if you want to call them artists, it's not music to me. It is a computer generated sound. It is, again, it's a beat. It's a lot of whoop, 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 just it's electronic. I don't know how to describe it, because it is just, from what I grew up, me playing percussion for as long as I have, that is not music to me. That is just, it's a hardcore beat. I get it. I know why it's used. It does have an effect on some playlists. It has an effect on videos and trailers sometimes if used in the right light. But let's go back to old school, people. I'm begging you. Let's just, all you artists out there that if you can listen and are listening, let's go back to creating a melody. Let's go back to writing lyrics that said a message, that told a story. Anyway, that's all my time. Sorry I rambled on a little bit, but leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
What?
Back in the days I sit and wish I was a kid.
I'm still back in the days, but now the year is 87, 88. That's when my crew and I were in junior high in 7th grade. I hated school.
Shit had blown up.
No doubt I couldn't.